is spectacular. It's solid gold. It's perfect. It's exclusive. It's all that and more.
And more. And
all that and more.
It's coming up. If you don't want to wait and you already want it, you can actually go ahead and start ordering it now. Take a look at this. Okay, so this is what we were kind of teasing you with a little bit earlier. Look at that, 5 ounces of silver.
Well, that's the thing that people, and boy, they got, everybody likes to handle these.
Right.
Now, here's the thing. These are quarters. These are actual quarters.
Okay.
Now, there's I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. That's an actual quarter.
Okay.
However, these, we're going to spend a little bit of time here. These are solid silver.
Wow.
And if you look right there, 999 fine silver, 5 ounces. 5 ounces. Now, here's the thing about the Shawnee, okay? They're basically already sold out from the United States government because they've gone on to the next one. I was able to find a few of these. What this is, and people are going, what is this? Because I mean, that's the normal thing that people say is, what is this? Right. And what this is when the United States government started doing this, the National Parks program in 2010. They wanted to make it special. It had just followed up the United States State Quarter program. And so what they did is they decided to do something unlike anything they have ever done before. So they took each and every one of the quarters and they made one like this, and they made one in 5 ounces of solid silver. And they made these, here's the thing, in phenomenally limited quantities. I mean, not just a little bit. I mean, they are some of the rarest coins made by the United States. Like the Shawnees, I think, the mintage on these to date is about 55,000. Okay, wow. which is nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
Now, you go back and look at the coins where there's 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 like this, and look at prior years. As a matter of fact, if you go to hsn.com right now, and if we can perhaps do that and look up 2010 America the Beautiful 5 ounce, you'll find these. Now those coins, same amount of silver, but because of the new, and understand, so you're getting over a quarter pound of silver in each one of these. So that's a big part of it. So you got the intrinsic value. But the numismatic value.
Oh my gosh, they're so heavy.
They're over a quarter of a pound of pure silver. But the numismatic value, and the ones we have, like I said, we've kind of shined these up. The ones you have are brand new, brilliant, uncirculated out of original tubes. Yeah. So here's what happens, is they are so rare that they come out, we sell them, and like I said, I have my HSN price here, $179. Now, silver has gone up 50% this year. 50%. Those 2010 coins, same amount of silver, we sell them for almost $1,000 a piece. If you look at the 2011 coins, they are $250 to $400. Okay?
Wow.
The 2012, some of those are exceptionally rare. You can see those coins up to $400, $500, $600, $700 for individual coins. So here's what you do. You get the incredible silver value of this. But then on top of it, you get this amazing numismatic value as well. And I think that's absolutely crucial for you to understand in terms of what you're going to get. Now, what I was able to do, because these are sold out because they've gone on to the, what is it, the Fort Hood, I think is what it is. Okay. Is what it is, that we've sold out. And we had a small quantity of those, we sold those out. We had the Bombay hooks, we sold those out. The Saratogas we sold out because they were at the way old silver price. I think we were $139. I mean, I think they're like wholesale $200 now.
Wow.
$200, $225 at least for those. These are going to have a very, very similar mintage. I ordered these months ago. I just got them in. So what you're going to have is, and it's the only reason I have them, and our silver bar, 1 ounce silver bars sold out, 5 ounce silver bars sold out. Now,
always,
my 5 ounce silver bars are close to this price. Okay.
Right.
But have no numismatic value. So it's like you get the silver, but do not underestimate the collectible coin value, the collectible coin value of these as well.
These are
like I said, so
fantastic.
go to hsn.com. Perhaps we can do that for everybody. The 2010 5-ounce ATBs that we've got, and we've got some of those still available. Like I said, very nearly $1,000 a coin.
Wow.
So you're going to have actually the, I think the Harry Truman coin is about to come out.
Okay.
Next is what it's, excuse me, going to be, is the next one of these. So these are extraordinarily good. Now, keep in mind, when I originally sold these, we were about $159. Silver has gone up $7 an ounce. So the silver in these alone has gone up $35.
My goodness.
Now what happens is that also affects how many of the coins are made and tamps down the mintage pretty substantially.
That's right.
So what you're going to have is substantially rarer coins that you still have got this fantastic silver value of over a quarter of a pound of silver within these as well. And so what you've got is a huge customer pick that I was finally able to restock after, I think the last time we had the Shawnees, it's been quite some time. I was able to get a very small quantity of these. They're extraordinarily popular.
Absolutely.
Already sold out, limited edition for the government. So let me put it into a different perspective.
Okay.
You take some of the rarest American silver eagles, okay, the reverse proof coins. The rarest reverse proof American silver eagle has a mintage of 100,000. It's got 1 ounce of silver in it. We sell it on hsn.com for $1,199.
Oh my God.
This coin is going to be rarer, almost twice as rare, and has 5 times the silver. So twice as rare and 5 times the silver, because you've got 5 ounces of pure silver. You've got 5 ounces of pure silver in each and every one of these coins. And they're going to come out of original, and there's a tube that has 20 of these in a tube. Or I'm sorry, 10. 10 of these in a tube. So there's 10 coins that come in a mint sealed tube. And as a matter of fact, if you order 10, we'll send you a mint sealed tube.
Okay.
So, and they are just absolutely stunning. There's really cool, you know, things made just for this. As you can see, 999 fine silver, 5 ounces, and look at these.
Wow, look at that.
Absolutely stunning. So let's not underestimate the numismatic value of these as well, which is substantial to go with the silver. Now, if you've not been paying attention, silver is up 50%. So when I introduced these, silver was a third less than what it is now. My price has not gone up 50%.
That's right.
My price has gone up 15%.
Okay.
Okay? 20%. My price has gone up 20% because I'm still pricing in the numismatic value the same, and all I had to do was just tick up the silver price because we had to pay more. Even though I bought these several months ago, it was still a higher price than the original, what we had.
And the thing is, there's no, you know, we don't know where silver is going to go, but, you know, if the trend continues, it goes up and up and up, and we know that. The fact that you're seeing something here that has the numismatic value, that also has intrinsic value because of what it is. This is 5 ounces of silver, and I was saying earlier, it's heavy. You feel that silver. This is something that when you get it, I mean, that's the first thing that you're gonna say right out of the box. Yes, it's beautiful. Yes, it's unique. Yes, it's special. But the first thing you're going to say is, wow, that's a lot of silver. And you've got that here. Now, the fact that we've got them for you, and you're loving them as many of the items that you've seen already this morning. Is this something that you're going to offer this evening as well?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And I'm assuming selling out this evening as well because we've not seen this for a while. Like I said, huge customer pick. In terms of silver, it's about the only thing we have.
Okay.
The 1 ounce bar is sold out. 5 ounce bar is sold out. We have the pound of silver sold out. We have silver just gone. As silver has gone up, boom, 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 boom. I bought this at significantly. If I bought this at silver prices today, $199.95.
Oh,
okay?
easily,
If
yeah.
I bought this from silver prices 5 years ago,
Yeah.
this would be $349.
Oh my goodness.
So even though silver's up 50%, folks, keep in mind,
still,
you have
yeah.
not missed out.
Right.
You have not missed out even though silver's up 50%.
That's right, because you remember that there was such a fluctuation and then it did dip down, but it's coming right back up. And if the trend continues, you know that these are going to be the kind of things that you spend every time you see it. You're going to say, well, the price changed. It got more expensive than it was the last time I saw it. In general, that's the way it goes because that's the way the trend is going. I do see a lot of you calling in. Every single one of our customer service reps are taking orders right now because you recognize how special and how different this is. And if you are a collector, whether you've been collecting for years or whether you're just beginning your collection, and the way you want to build your collection is you want things that are special and unique, and you know it when you see it, and that's what this is. And I would love for you to add this one to your collection.
Well, look at this once again. So let's start off with the fact that it's 5 ounces of pure silver. So over a quarter of a pound of pure silver. Now, if I had a 5-ounce silver bar right now, yeah. I'd have to charge you $179.95. Okay, that's just what we've sold literally thousands and thousands and thousands
yeah.
of pounds of silver here
yeah.
since the beginning of the year. We're one of the largest end retailers of silver around. So we have $9.99 fine silver, 5 ounces of silver. So if I sold you a silver bar, I would sell it to you for $179.95 right now.
Okay.
However, the numismatic value of this, like I said, look at the Hawaii coin, about the similar mintage, roughly the same mintage, and that coin's $700, $800. The stuff from 2010, we're actually sold out of the 5-coin set. We were $4,700 for the 5-coin set from 2010.
Oh my goodness.
The 2015s, there's not a single one of them I can sell you for less than $229. So what you've got is you get this backdrop of this tremendous intrinsic value of pure silver.
Yeah.
But then the numismatic value, the fact that there is such an amazing coin value with this as well. We've already sold, a couple hundred ounces of silver. So in other words, we've sold, 10, 20 pounds of silver here in just a few minutes. But keep in mind, none of this is, the silver is the backdrop of value. The real value of this is the fact that the mintage on this, look, by law, it's capped at 120,000.
Okay.
Okay, it's capped. None of them, there's like 3 of the 30 coins that have been issued that even got to 120,000. Because they issue them, they sell them out, and then they go on to the next coin. We're already a coin beyond this. And then there's already the next coin's about to be put out. So they're done. And the government never tells you how many they're gonna make. All of a sudden they just ship them out to these authorized purchasers. And because I'm one of the bigger customers, I get, okay, how many do you want? We got there's 12 of them. And they'll say, we got 2,500. Okay. And I'm like, I'll take 1,000 or 1,500 or 1,800 or 2,000. They go, well, you can't have that many because I do have other customers. And so that's what you're looking at here, is that this is a phenomenally rare coin. And make no mistake about it, this is the largest silver coin ever made by the United States government. You're looking at it right here. And while it is technically $0.25, yours won't come with all my fingerprints. Yours will be beautiful, brilliant, uncirculated. You are looking at 5 ounces of pure silver. The United States government has never done that before, where they did a 5-ounce silver coin. They've had like a 1-ounce silver coin. So they went from 1 to 5. And like I said, each one of these, and they come in these little flip holders, and they're brilliant, uncirculated, so you can see them. They're absolutely stunning. These are tremendously popular. I was able to get several hundred coins. I'm thinking that we'll probably sell out the remainder quantity this evening in our primetime show is what we're doing. Continue to call. And this is a regular quarter. This one is pure silver over a quarter of a pound, one of the rarest coins made by the United States government. On top of all that, it is an amazing opportunity. That's why it's a huge customer pick.
Okay, I know that you can see our clock just dropped. I know that we do have to move on, but you can continue ordering until they're gone. We do have a few hundred left, and then that's it. This is 492127. If you want to log on to hsn.com and read the reviews, please do so because it is a customer pick. So we're going to give you another trivia question, take another break, and come back for more. So how do you determine the obverse or top side of a coin? A, the side that displays the coin's value. B, the side that bears the country of origin. C, the side that displays a historical figure. Or D, all of the above. I wonder. All right, we're going to check in with a quick